Welcome to an episode of Coffee Break with Card, La Hora del Cafecito's new sister show. My name is Lourdes Quiñones, and I would like to welcome you to the show. Coffee Break with Card is a program dedicated to all those in our community who are living with autism, to their family members, and to all those who support them. So come on in, join us at the table, and sign in the comment section below. Let us know if you're having your cup of coffee with us. We'd love to say hello to you. In today's program, we will be talking about how to turn in your naturally occurring opportunities of daily living into moments of learning to promote independence, language, executive function, and social skills of your loved ones with autism. Specifically today, we will be talking about getting your loved ones involved in creating Halloween costumes and or decorations. So join us. We have a lot to talk about. But before we get started, I'd like to introduce you to our coffee break hostesses of today. As I mentioned before, my name is Lourdes Quiñones. I am a CARD consultant assigned to the primary age group here at CARD. And professionally, I'm a pediatric physical therapist as well as a special education teacher. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Jasmine Castellano. Buenos días, Jasmine. And Olivia McDonald. She can barely breathe or talk. And also Olivia McDonald. Buenos días, Olivia.
Hi, Lourdes. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, I love their customs. Jasmine Castellano is an excellent professional in the field of mental health, and she is a CARD consultant assigned to the middle age and high school age group. And she's the mother of 3, one of whom is diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Jasmine.
Thank you, Lourdes.
Olivia McDonald is an excellent professional in the field of public health, and she is a CARD consultant assigned to the primary age group, just like me. And Olivia is the mother of a beautiful baby boy and has a younger brother diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Olivia. Our colleague, Maggie Aldana, could not join us today as she has other businesses to take care of, but she'll be back with us next time. Hi, Maggie. Have a great weekend and Halloween. Happy Halloween to you. Anyway, before we get started, we want to review the rules by which we want to adhere during this programming to ensure a safe environment for all of us. Remember to keep an open mind, maintain a positive attitude, and use respectful language. And as I mentioned before, in today's program, we are going to be talking about how to turn naturally occurring opportunities of daily living into moments of learning that are just happening in our daily lives. And today we happen to be talking about Halloween activities and turning those activities like using craft and Halloween costumes to promote independence and language skills and executive function skills and social skills of our loved ones with autism. But we hope that you take these ideas for everyday activities, normal day activities, not just Halloween activities. The message is that these ideas can be incorporated in your day-to-day lives from the moment they wake up in the morning all the way until they go to bed at night. So it doesn't have to be Halloween in order for you to incorporate this idea. So that's the primary message for today, okay? So join us because we have a lot to talk about, all right? So let's get started.
My bad. So, Lourdes, what are the benefits of this type of activity, and why should parents, caregivers do this type of activity with their loved one with autism?
That's a great question. And if you don't mind, I put together PowerPoint. If you don't mind sharing it, because you know how I get twisted with technology. So I'd love for you to be able to help me out with that. I'll try to do the same on my end and see if that works out for me.
Can you guys see it now? It should be sharing.
Yeah, but if you can make it into the presenter
it's
mode.
just not in full screen yet.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so what are the benefits? Hold on. My mouth was getting all dried up. Okay. So slide number 2, if you don't mind, please. So perfect. So some of the benefits of participating in activities of daily living, and in this case, holiday craft activities like, like this one's, the benefit are loved ones with autism and even without autism, because they occur, like we mentioned, in naturally occurring moments that make the activities memorable, right? And this promotes the learning and acquisition of independence skills, language skills, executive function, and social skills, emotional skills, and so on of our loved ones, right? And these skills will later be generating, memories later on in lives. And we all know that we go back in time and we say, oh, I remember in 4th grade and 6th grade when we did that activity, because they are memorable, right? So that's one of the key points about that. We also know that these skills can be later generalized into other activities of daily living and settings, right? We know we can build their vocabulary based on the activity. So if today we are working on Halloween, we can use language related to that. Let's say that we were doing laundry. Then we teach them the language that is associated with laundry, doing laundry. So if we are working on cooking, then we use language associated with cooking, so it helps to build that vocabulary. And also the same thing with independent skills. So putting on their clothing, brushing their teeth, putting things away, cleaning their rooms, things like that. So those are some of the benefits of that. Of participating and engaging. So it builds for future, because today they're little, they may be little, but and we might be young today, but we're getting older and so are they. So we got to keep that in mind. So they're going to be adults at some day. So repetition is the key. Practice today for the skills of tomorrow.
Yes. And Lourdes, what should parents or caregivers keep in mind when doing these type of activities with their loved ones with autism?
Yes, that's a great question. So first thing that we tell parents is, keep the instructions simple, right? So 1 or 2 words, don't bombard them, instead of giving them long instructions, model the expected behavior first. So less words, and then say something like, you do. So let's say that I want them to, instead of using those long words, it's like sign language. They don't use so many words. They just, they use a simple sign to generate an idea. So the same thing. So you do the activity and then you say, do that. So keep it simple. Use a picture of the final product so they can keep that in their mind. So it's the same thing as when we're constructing a puzzle, for example. We keep the picture of the puzzle in view so that we know what's coming up, right? And if we have a question, we look at the picture. What is that? Where's that? So we can, so the same thing. So if you, instead of saying, I want you to pick, clean your room, keep the picture of what the room looks like when it's clean, or pick up, get ready to leave the house, like get ready for school. Well, put a picture of what it looks like to be ready to go to school. The backpack is here, the shoes are on, put a picture of what that looks like before they walk out the door, and keep it on all the time. So they're checking themselves. So that builds independence. They're not depending on you to be the one that it's like, it helps them to stay brushing their teeth. What are the steps that it takes that? So also, do one step at a time. The same thing as how do you tie your shoes? You don't want to do that. There it is. Tie your shoes. No, you teach one step at a time. Use the first this, then that. First do this, then that kind of model of things, so it doesn't overwhelm them. The visual timers also helps them to stay focused and finish an activity within a time frame that is practical. Give them frequent breaks as needed. Don't give it to them if they don't need it, but if they need it, it's better to work in little spurts of time instead of saying, no, you got to work for 5 minutes and get that done, and then you get your break. No, give them as frequent need, jump a little bit or whatever it is that they need, a sensory break, and then get them to finish the activity within that time. And then the sensory adaptations means if they have sensory tactile sensitivities, for example, and the activity requires them to touch things, but they're very sensitive in their hands, give them gloves or give them manipulatives, like things that instead of using their hands, they can use maybe some adaptive equipment that will touch it for them, and promote that they will try to touch it, but don't push them. You don't want to cause trauma. Go ahead.
And Lourdes, what do you recommend to parents, caregivers who fear that their loved ones will not engage in this type of activity or any other type of directed activity?
Well, that is something that we have to make the activities compelling, right? If you want them to engage, the best strategy is engage them through their areas of interest, right? So they love, let's say, superheroes. So go ahead and engage them through that superhero interest. For example, in this case, the activities could be related to the superhero masks. I love this kind of activity. A lot of people say, well, my child could never keep a mask in their face. They're very sensitive. Well, this one gives them an option to hold it, in front of the face. We're not wearing it. And so these are activities that they're getting engaged in, a lot of the, auditory processing, step-by-step activity, time-wise, getting engaged in a directed activity. We are working on all the skills in an area that they're interested in. Therefore, it helps us to work on the skills, that fine motor activity, counting. We can make all those things that we think they're not going to be interested in, that they wouldn't want to work on, but in the area that they are interested in, and therefore it's possible to work on those activities. The next page, also, we are working on the same thing, activity. Again, if they have sensitivities, those are alternatives, and for them to get engaged, and they will. And again, like you see the triangles you're working on. I can see fine motor activities. I can see colors. Us working on colors. Us working on maybe we can talk about language skills in here, especially if they're interested in dinosaurs, getting them engaged. So the social skills about this. So it's building rapport and trust with them. So there's so many positive things that can happen from here. The next one, also, you can learn, these are opportunities to in disguise. So for example, in here, again, more math activities. I can see from left to right, you see parallel play on that upper left picture. Maybe we have in here a typically developing a neurotypical child with maybe paired up modeling maybe the sequence of what it's expected. That could be an activity that could be happening right there. Also, it's an opportunity for socialization, for language building. The areas I can see with the one on the upper shapes, I can see with a mask in the middle. I can see the fine motor skills that it takes to using scissors. In the noodles on the right, I can see not only colors, using colors and the fine motors scales, I can see using math. We can use the length. One is shorter, distance. Those are all math scales of distance for geometry, and all the skills that we can be building on for later on skills. Again, in the bottom left, also, we can use weight, different weights on those cones. Not only colors are we working, depending on the age, we could also be working on weight, and also geometry skills, imagination, the middle one. Look at that imagination. Can you imagine that? Creative skills. Oh my God. And the next page. If we can do
Maybe
this.
Olivia has a question that she would like to.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can see. Hold on, one more. The one in the bottom, yeah, too. Also, yes. Look at the bottom. Also, the order. Look at the order. We can put it in order. Also, the middle of. I can see language in there. Language. The shapes. Also, the colors. Yes. Thank you. Olivia.
Okay. Don't know what was wrong with my mic. Lourdes, earlier you spoke of the general benefits of participating or creating crafts or activities. Can you give us some specific examples?
Well, besides the ones that I did, I also talked about creating it, linking it, for example, to the ideas of the books. You can tie it in, language arts being such a big one. Books and songs, for example, tie it in with building language and vocabulary development, right? The socialization and the social emotional skills, doing some building auditory processing skills and the fine motor skills and the visual spatial skills. Again, those are so important skills, and getting them, and the executive function skills. I do a training that on executive function skills, and Adele Diamond, she did an article in 2013 where she says that executive function skills are more important than reading and math skills in determining the language the school readiness than anything else. So through all those prepared executive, the auditory processing and all that stuff, we're building all those pre-school readiness skills, the math, the reading, and the language. But it's because of the executive function skills, the auditory processing, the order of things, follow this, do this, the memory, the working memory. You see what I mean? So all these activities are working on that. So you need to be able to have that working memory. All those strategies that I just talked about of using the pictures, the visual, the visual timers, the picture in place. All that helps with working memory, which is part of executive function, which also helps with the self-control, which is part of that memory, that control of emotions, right? And all of that is what Adele Diamond calls fluid intelligence. And those are the skills that get them ready for the preschool, right? The school readiness for language, for all that stuff. So that's why she talks about school readiness. So by working in all these activities, we're getting them ready for school to build readers for life. So this is why it's so important to get them engaged from the moment they get up in the morning until they go to bed. I want to go through the next activities real quick, just to let people know, just some videos that I found up. If you want to show the next video. Yeah, you did. Okay, just to let you know, I'm going to show some videos. We're not going to play them, but just to let you know that in this presentation, we're going to put up YouTube has some excellent videos that you can access, some actual therapists, that occupational therapists. For example, this guy here talks about some fine motor skills activities and the whys behind it, you know? So it's like free advice, some ideas on how to incorporate some of these activities. And again, just like this Halloween edition, that you can incorporate and just not just for now for Halloween, but for later. So the next one, you can just go real quick. We won't go through them, but so this girl talks about using marshmallows, and again, that's tactile sensitivities. So that's a great activity. I love it because dealing with some of the sensitivities and a pointer, using that finger pointing. I love it. Spooky clues, inferencing, speech. These are speech therapists giving us activities that we can, again, this theme right now is Halloween, but you can use it for putting dishes away, for the laundry, for the bathroom, you know, taking a shower, you know, a bath, you know, whatever. So great ideas. And I just want to give people that idea. Pumpkin themed. She talks about pairing some of the books, again, some ideas about the books. So giving some ideas, and I'm always big about going to YouTube. I'm in school right now, doing following my doctoral degree, but and I go to YouTube to reinforce my learning. So I am big on going over there. The next one for gross motor, I love some of the idea. Halloween freeze dance, you know, that works again with that Diamond, you know, Adele Diamond, where she talks about that, you know, self-control, that inhibition that is so important for executive function. So controlling their impulses. The next one, finding that's visual spatial is so important for reading, you know, some great activities. And you can use that for some of the breaks that I talked about, giving them as many. So when they're taking a break, they could be, so when I was teaching, I would do that. I would give them, yeah, it's a brain break, but it's a learning break. So we use every second of the day, again, naturally occurring moments, because we are the teachers, you know, they're under our care. We are the parents. The therapists come in and go all day, you know. We are the ones there all day. Would you rather this one here? Again, giving them choices. So yeah, they're you know, let's use every moment of the day as a learning moment. You know, whether if we're going to the store, use language. You know, they're in the back seat. Oh, what do you see? I spot this and the other. So those are basically my ideas of the takeaways for today. If I have something last to say.
Is there anything else, Lourdes,
Yeah.
that you would like to say?
Yeah, these are my takeaways for today. Turn any given activity into a learning activity, you know. Again, today we are talking about Halloween, but really it's every day, you know. We are the parents. The baby learns to sit up because we're there to help, you know, to teach them to sit up. The baby learns to talk because we're there to teach them. So again, every moment counts. Our children, there's a reason why there's early intervention, and it's because every second counts. So if we are there teaching them every second, and it doesn't, you know, when I was in the home teaching as a physical therapist, I would tell them, don't take 1 hour to teach them how to do these things. It's just in your everyday, incorporate it. So like I just said, we're going to the supermarket to do, let's use that as a learning opportunity. I spot this, I spot that. Use it to build in their vocabulary. Use it to build in their their skills, whatever and however way we can. It's just going to make them more independent. Don't do everything for them, and don't assume, that they're not learning. They are if you teach them. I always say the least dangerous assumption that we can make, and this is not, my idea. This is actually something that I learned, is that our children can learn, want to learn, and will learn. If we set the bar up here, will meet us somewhere between down here and up there. And if they make it up there, yay. And if they make it somewhere between here, yay too. So just do that. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, so that brings us to the end of that presentation, but we're almost at the end of the show. I hope you found this information valuable, and I hope it brought you some. Hold on, I'm trying to find my. Okay, I hope it brought you some ideas and where to find more ideas and how to incorporate some of these ideas into your everyday life, because it is something that is possible to do if you look at it from the frame of mind that everything you do throughout your day is a learning opportunity. Okay. Also, I wanted to remind you, today we're on the air pre-recorded because it's on an off week. We're not supposed to be on today. We were just on last week. Remember, we're on now every other week. We will be on next week, November 4th. We'll be on live, God willing. And we're going to be talking about nutrition. So I hope you can meet us here. And the week of the November 18th, we're also going to be here live talking about feeding therapy. We're going to be interviewing a feeding therapist from Johns Hopkins Hospital. So I hope you can be here to join us. And if you know someone that could use this information, be sure to tell them about it. We'll be on at 10:45, our usual time. So please be sure to be here. And if you can't make it, watch the video after that. And also, I wanted to remind you that on November 5th, we are going to be at All People Center on 56, somewhere is between Sly and Hillsborough Avenue. I don't have the address with me right now, but we have the flyer. The Yes Fair is going to be, it's already posted on our Facebook page, so I hope you can make it there. And the Arts Festival is going to be the Arts in the Park Festival, and Diverse Abilities Festival is going to be there, so I hope you can make it. And that brings us to the end of the show, but we don't want to leave without asking you to please give us a rating. Let us know how we're doing. If this information is important to you, this is how we can justify the time that it takes us to be in the air with you. And until then, don't forget to give us a like, share this video, and let us know how we're doing. Okay. So meet us here on the 4th. And until then, we want to wish you hot coffee and
good vibes and hot coffee.
Hot coffee. See you next time. Have a great weekend. Happy Halloween, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.